Good Thursday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather Update. This one's for March the 20th, 2014. Hey, it is the first day of spring. Officially started at 12:57 this afternoon, and it felt like spring finally here across Eastern Carolina. I think we get a couple more good days out of this pattern before Old Man Winter makes a big return as we head towards next week. We're still talking about that potential for some wintry precipitation by the time we head towards next week. So let's kind of break it down, give you the timing on all that here in the ENC Weather Update video. All right, here's a look at the precision forecast model. I think the model's doing a pretty good job tonight as far as the temperatures are concerned across the east. Most areas inland should drop to around 40 degrees, if not just below that. I think most areas about mid to upper 30s, nearing 40 if you live west of Highway 17. East of 17, upper 30s, low and mid 40s expected overnight tonight. So most inland areas going to be cool tonight, but seasonable as we go through the overnight hours. Tomorrow, nice day, sunshine in full force, maybe a couple of high clouds streaming in by the afternoon highs. Generally into the mid to even upper 60s tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody hits 70, especially south of US 70 tomorrow afternoon across Eastern Carolina. Overall, not too bad of a forecast for us. Now, a little wave's going to come across the area as we head towards Saturday ahead of the next frontal boundary. We're only going to drop into the 40s and 50s early on Saturday morning. But the best chance for rain is going to stay for the coastal areas, and I only put in a 10% chance for that actually happening. But look at this as we head towards Saturday afternoon. Look at that, 72 by noontime, and we still got a couple of daytime heating hours. Wouldn't be surprised. I've got 76 on the boards for Saturday with this next little frontal boundary that's going to push through here. Now, we'll talk about some of the timing differences on the models here in just a minute. But like I said, 76 on Saturday, not too bad. Frontal boundary sinks in here, and a little bit of divergence on the timing of this system. I do believe that we're going to be able to make it back into the 50s at least on Sunday, but it's just a hard time on trying to figure out what actually happens. Some of the models say, no, we're going to stay cooler all day on Sunday. Others are saying, no, we're going to warm up. There's a good argument that we could be back into the 70s on Sunday. I'm just not ready to pull that trigger, especially after the fact that the last 3 days it's been a falling temperature regime through the forecast models. And some of the models have us kind of stifled in the mid-50s, especially the GFS, which I'm kind of leaning towards through the period, with the exception of the late end of the period. But needless to say, we're going to be watching that temperature regime. You see the precision forecast model cranking out some 70s on the board Sunday afternoon before another shot of rain comes into the forecast. And that gets out of here as the frontal boundary sags southward. And then some much colder temperatures on the back side of that, likely below freezing early on Monday morning. But that frontal boundary is going to stall offshore, and we're talking about that wintry mischief possibly getting in here by next week. And there's your area of low pressure that'll be moving up here towards the north as we head towards Tuesday. That's what we've been talking about and likely will stick around. Now, the 12Z GFS run, a little bit more conservative on this, and we'll look at it on a different scale, but needless to say, it's still got the same idea. There's going to be a rain-snow mix across Eastern Carolina on that day, and then we're clearing out as we head into the latter half of the forecast period. Looks like by Wednesday and Thursday, we're warming up by the time we head towards Thursday back into the 50s. All right, that's the look at the 12Z GFS run, valid at 2 p.m. on Friday. High pressure in control, and the thickness values nice and warm. Still thinking mid to upper 60s. I've got 68 tomorrow for a high, and it may be a little aggressive, but it's still going to feel nice across the area tomorrow across Eastern Carolina. Now, yesterday we had 64 for a high. The reasoning why is because I just didn't believe the thickness values were going to get that high, but with full sunshine and just the way that the winds were configured today, I still think that we're going to be able to make it to the mid and upper 60s tomorrow here across Eastern Carolina. But you see back off to the north, some cold air starting to come southward back over into Montana. And what we've been talking about has been this cold air injection that's kind of sitting up here towards the north into Canada that is just ready to come southward. It's just been kind of reloading up there, and will be making its way towards us. And you see the little shortwave ridge kind of moving across us as well. But some of this energy that's in the southern stream is all going to hook up and with that cold air, and that's what we're going to be watching for over the next few days. That Saturday, and man, oh man, the thickness values come up on us, and like I said, mid to upper 70s possibly on Saturday. Decent bet that we're going to be in the mid 70s, but some upper 70s possibly. Hey, I'll take that, even with a chance for rain and a mix of sun and clouds out there. But once again, that cold air is kind of looming off towards the north, and you see that 1042 high just kind of sitting up here, and that is just going to help to inject that cold air coming out of Canada. It's just kind of sitting up here across the ice and snowpack, and it's coming southward. All right, over to the 500 millibar chart on Sunday afternoon, and here's cold shot number 1 as that comes southward and south and eastward. But second cold shot is coming southward as well. All this energy that's kind of looming up here is coming southward, and that's going to be cold shot number 2. And some of this energy that's holding back over here towards the desert southwest is going to link up with this energy up here to the north and then move eastward. I know that looks messy, but needless to say, this is a messy forecast that we're dealing with here. But as far as Sunday is concerned, that's why we're talking about that wide range of temperatures on Sunday. I think we get a decent chance for rain into the forecast as we head into the afternoon hours. I think the morning may be dry, but the afternoon may be a little bit more wet. But you see that 540 line coming southward. Good indication that the cold air is on the way right there, that 540 line coming southward. And it is coming in a quick, fast, and a hurry fashion as we head towards the end of the forecast period. This is a look at the GFS maximum temperature on Sunday afternoon. And again, and that's why I'm hesitant on the temperature profiles. And you see that big range nearing 70 down here in Onslow, Pender County. You got 55 here in Greenville. 40s up here towards the north, up into Northampton County. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant on that, pulling the trigger on the temperature regime on Sunday. And Monday, I think we get a dry day in here across the east, but needless to say, that 540 line's way south, anomalously south. But all this stuff down here that's gathering in the Gulf of Mexico, that is your next area of low pressure that's going to be developing. Now, you see that that cold air in place here across eastern Carolina as we head towards Monday. And that's got to move eastward and eventually northeastward with the flow pattern. Remember, I was talking about that energy that was kind of holding back over here in the desert southwest. Well, here's your energy that's coming southward, that cold air that's coming southward. That's the second injection. And all that's going to kind of meet up here in the middle and then push eastward as we head towards Monday and into Tuesday. And there's what you look at on Tuesday. Big full latitude trough coming through, and that cold air coming down into that pipeline. I mean, basically, just brutally cold. The 540 heights, not the thickness value, the heights, the 5,400 decameter height is going to be into basically places like Kentucky. Southern Kentucky, northern Tennessee, ridge building back over here towards the west. So it's warm and dry here, but the cold air is coming southward. And that spurs up a huge area of low pressure offshore. And a lot of the ensemble members are on board with this, from not only the GFS, but also the European, and also looking at the Canadian as well. I mean, they're on board with a low pressure coming up the coastline. And it's not out of the question the way that the teleconnections are in place. It's just that it's anomalous that we would have this late in the season, but it's not out of the question. But you see that 540 line kind of hanging tough in there on Tuesday with a 1,000 millibar high in there, moving northward. And that's going to put in some breezy winds, breezy northeast winds. I mean, this will be a downright nor'easter as it's coming off the coast next week, if that does play out. And you see that 540 line, the cold air wrapping around on the backside again, even into Wednesday afternoon. And now a sub 1,000 millibar high low as you head up towards as it moves off the coast. Needless to say, that's a cold air look. And that's a look at the maximum high temperatures off the GFS for Tuesday. It's got a high of 37. And that's as high as we would get. I've got 42 in there right now. I'm holding my guns right now just on the 40s, but I have a feeling that this may be right if this holds together. Now, all this can change. There's a lot of things that could change. The European is further to the north and west with the with the cold air, the Canadians on board, the GFS is on board, the ensembles are on board. A lot of the ensembles on board. The European ensemble is a little less aggressive, but needless to say, there's that shot there. No matter that you look at it, it could be deeper inland, it could be all the way to Highway 17, it could be all the way to the coast for all we know. There's still a lot of uncertainty in the forecast, but we do need to make the mention that there is that possibility as we head towards Tuesday of a rain-snow mix. Not everybody's going to see snow, not everybody's going to see rain, but needless to say, well, probably everybody's going to see rain, but not everybody's going to see snow, but there will be somebody somewhere in eastern North Carolina that sees something as we head towards Tuesday, but we're still far enough out that we still have a lot of time to work and got some wiggle room here to work. That lifts out on Wednesday, and 1029 high builds in. Cold air advection in full force on that day, and if we do have snow on the ground, we likely be colder, but if we don't have snow on the ground, we'll make it to the 40s, likely mid-40s on Wednesday, and then as we head out towards Thursday, high pressure still in control, but on the back side, we should make it to the 50s as we get a southerly push of air, and then at the end of the forecast period, we're watching another area of low pressure developing back off towards the west. It could bring us rain showers by the time we head into Friday. The Europeans a little quicker on that look than the GFS is. That's going to do it for me here on the ENC Weather Update. You can stay up to date with us Facebook, Twitter, WNCT.com, and our brand new Storm Team 9 app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Have a great rest of your evening, great day tomorrow, and a great weather week ahead.